Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for the 20th. So I had to look after I did that other reading because I was like, Aquarius, we did have an Aquarius moon rather that entered at 11:51 p.m. on the 19th. So that was correct. I just wanted to straighten that up, clarify. The 19th was also my very first like real boyfriend. It was pretty much my boyfriend all through. I mean, we broke up a couple times and I dated another guy in the meantime that was born on 9/11. Me and my Virgos. But for the most part, from the time I was like 14, going on 15 maybe, until I was around 20, that was my boyfriend. Anyway, my first niece, or my eldest niece, that would be the more appropriate, proper way to say it. Her birthday was also on the 19th. So I had my own little connection to that 19th father energy yesterday that I didn't mention. Anyway, the 19th was yesterday, as I said. Today's the 20th. Let's see what's going on this day, beginning with the year 451, when the Roman general Flavius Aetius defeats Attila the Hun at the Battle of Cannulonian Plains. I think it's also called Chalons Samarne. And this halts the Hun invasion of Roman Gaul. 622, Islamic prophet Muhammad / Abu Bakr. So they're identifying which Muhammad they're talking about here. He arrives in Yathrib, which is now called Medina, or which had otherwise been called Medina. And so we went over the year 610, where he got the words of the Quran, and Ramadan, which marks the pilgrimage to Mecca surrounding that. Again, it began the year 610 on June 10th also, that he was given us these first words of the Quran. 610, which equals 7. Seven is God. All right, 7 is spirituality, God, and numerology and supreme, like a few of the different numeric languages that I quote unquote speak. 7 means God in all of them. So that's when he went to Mecca, and this is marking him leaving Mecca and going to Medina because his grandson was killed. So I spoke about that a couple of weeks ago, the month of Muharram, which is now, and the Hijri New Year. That marks the time when his grandson was killed, and then he went to Medina. So this is 622. All right, 1519, Spanish expedition is led by Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan, and it sets off the first successful circumnavigation of the globe. Magellan is killed en route. 1854-99, the Battle of Alma, the first major battle of the Crimean War. British and French alliance defeat the Russians. 1990, speaking of that 19 energy, both East and West Germany ratify reunification. 2001, in an address to a joint session of Congress and the American people, U.S. President George W. Bush declares a quote-unquote war on terror. Did you know Maryland passes the first anti-amalgamation law to stop intermarriage of English women and black men on September 20th in 1664, which is another, it's a 9/11, right? The September 20th is a 9/11, and the 1624 is the 8 it's another 19 together. Famous birthdays: Upton Sinclair, Maxwell Perkins, Red Auerbach, Sophia Loren, Sani Albacha, Guy Lafleur. Would you believe capture of Rome by the Italian army, Pope Pius IX surrenders to King Victor Emmanuel, which unifies Italy and ends the 1,116-year reign of papal states. This happened on September 20th in the year 1870. So let me give you these numbers. September 20th, again, 11, 1870, 8. The Pope who was captured and surrendered to King Victor, he was Pope Pius IX. The year 1116 also equals 9. How's that for numerology? Famous weddings. 1997. Chips actor Eric Estrada, 48, weds Nanette Mirkovich. 2002. The Matrix actor Lawrence Fishburne, 41, weds actress Gina Torres, 33. Master number 33. They got married at the Cloisters Museum in New York City. I had my own little romantic interlude there one day. I won't go into detail. I won't go into detail, but mine was outside the Cloisters on the lawn in the rain. Okay, anyway, 2002. The Monkees lead vocalist Mickey Dolenz, 57, weds Donna Quinter in Calabasas, California. 2003. Will and Grace actress Megan Mullally, 44, weds actor Nick Offerman, 32, in Los Angeles. She was 12 years his senior. 2012. Sultan Hassanal, his daughter, Princess Haja Havaza. Oh, there's more to her name on the next line. Sorry, excuse me. I didn't mean to disrespect her. Haja Havaza Surulu Bokaya is 32. She weds Pengrayan Haji Muhammad Ruzani, 29, at the Throne Hall of Istana Nurul Imam Palace in Brunei. Whoa, that was a mouthful. Famous divorces. 1951. Actor Jackie Coogan, 36, divorces Anne McCormick after 5 years of marriage. In 1983, actor James Woods, 36, divorces costume designer Catherine Morrison after 3 years of marriage. Famous deaths. Jacob Grimm, so I guess one of the brothers Grimm, and Edward Worths, who looks familiar, but I can't say I know who he is. Oh, okay. I don't know why he looks familiar. He's a Nazi physician, so I don't need to know him, but maybe I was there and that's how I met him. I don't know. He looked really familiar just now. Anyway, Chief SS Doctor at Auschwitz concentration camp from September 1942 to January 1945. He was born on September 4th, which equals 11/11, in the year 1909, which equals 19, in Wurzburg, Germany. He was a Virgo, and he died on September 20th, which again is 11, in the year 1945, which, like the year of his birth, equals 19. He was 36 at the time, another 9, and the cause was suicide. A bunch of these punks killed themselves, these Nazis. Jacob Grimm is German and an author, is indeed one of the brothers Grimm, along with his younger brother, Willem Grimm, authors of the famous collection Grimm's Fairy Tales, first published in 1812 with 86 stories. By the 7th edition in 1857, 211 stories were included. From the brothers' collecting of old folk tales has come the popularity of such tales as Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Rapunzel, and Rumpelstiltskin. During his lifetime, Jacob Grimm was more generally an academic and lexicographer. Together with his brother Willem, Jacob was the instigator of the mammoth Deutsches Wörterbuch, the largest German dictionary ever compiled. Begun in 1838, which is 9/11 or 11, it was published in parts from 1852 and I guess unfinished at the brother's death. Yeah. It was finally completed by latter scholars in 1961. Interesting. Jacob Grimm is also the author of Grimm's Law, the first Germanic sound shift. First observed by Rasmus Christian Rask, Grimm was the first to fully publicize it. He was born on January 4th in 1785 in Hanu Hesse Castle, Holy Roman Empire. He was a Capricorn. He died on September 20th, again 11, in the year 1863, 9-9. I think we all know what numbers are important so far today. Going back up to the birthdays, Guy Lafleur is Canadian, an NHL legend. The first player in the NHL to score 50 goals and 100 points in 6 straight seasons. He played 17 seasons, most of which for the Montreal Canadiens, and won 5 Stanley Cups. He was born on September 20th in 1951 and is 66 years old. He's from Thurso, Quebec, Canada. Under the Chinese zodiac, he's a rabbit, and under the traditional star sign, a Virgo. Sani Abacha, Nigerian, the president of Nigeria. He had been a Nigerian army general and politician who served as the de facto president of Nigeria from 1993 through 1998. His regime, although it saw dramatic economic growth, also saw widespread human rights abuse. He was born on September 20th in 1943 in Kano, Nigeria. Under the Chinese zodiac, a goat/sheep. And under the traditional star sign of Virgo, he died on June 8th in 1998 at the age of 54. Sophia Loren, full name Sofia Villani Scaglione, Italian, and an actress, international film star, and Italy's most renowned and honored actress. Her de-glamorized performance as Cicera in Vittorio De Sica's quote-unquote 2 Women earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress in 1962 and made her the first artist to win an Oscar for a foreign language performance. She was born on September 20th in 1934 and is 18 years old. 18 years old. Where did I see that? I don't know where I saw 18 years old. 83 years old. Like 18 years old. What the hell? That was from my mind. I guess the 18 connects to something. Maybe we'll find out what it is. Another 9 for whatever that's worth. Under the Chinese zodiac, she's a dog, and under the traditional star signs, again, a Virgo. Red Auerbach, whose full name was Arnold Jacob Auerbach, was a professional NBA head coach known as the pioneer of modern basketball. He redefined basketball as a game dominated by team play and defense, and also introduced the fast break as a potent offensive weapon. As a coach, he won 938 games, 9-11 or 11, and 9 NBA championships. A general manager and team president of the Boston Celtics. Hey, Raphael. He won an additional 7. Those are all 3 of the numbers that I spoke about today. 11, 9, and 7. Additional 7 NBA titles for a grand total of 16, which equals 7, in a span of 29, which equals 11 years, making him one of the most successful team officials in the history of North American professional sports. He was born on September 20th, 11, in the year 1917, 9-9, in Brooklyn, New York, USA. He was a Virgo. He died on October 28th in 2006 at the age of 89 of a heart attack. Maxwell Perkins is American and an editor. He's described as the most famous literary editor. Maxwell Perkins was the editor for Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Thomas Wolfe. Thomas means twin. He was born on September 20th in the year 1884, which equals 13 of 4, 11, 11. And again, September 20th equals 11. He was from New York City, New York, USA, a Virgo. He died on June 17th in 1947 at the age of 62. And lastly, Upton Sinclair, whose full name was Upton Beale Sinclair Jr., was American and an author known for writing nearly 100 books in many genres. He is the most famous, though, for his classic 1906 muckraking novel, quote unquote, The Jungle, which is about the U.S. meatpacking district and industry. The book caused a public uproar and contributed to the passage a few months later of the 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act and the Meat Inspection Act. He was born on September 20th in the year 1878. All right, here's these numbers. 11, September 20th. 888 is the year. 1878. In Baltimore, Maryland, USA, a Virgo died November 25th. Which is another 9, by the way. That's not what I was trying to get to. In the year 1968. He was 90 at the time. There's your 9. And he was the last. So I'm beginning with, it's 50-50. Stay in bed. And buy shoes. So I think it could go either way, is what this is saying. Stay in bed. Or, say, this could be stay happy, maintain the status quo, stay together, are different things I'm getting. Or not, like get up, walk, hit the road, buy shoes. It's 50-50. It could go either way. Spirit says sex. Again, it's still 50-50. And eat cake, which can be taken however you want, whatever you're into. Just remember, sex was also there. I'm beginning with Major Arcana card number 16, another 7, or life experience in this deck, which is otherwise known as the Tower. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. The Tower can be a scary card for people. It is not for me. It is a neutral card that can go either way. It's 50-50. It's 50-50. It can go either way. It can be bad. It can be good, Opening to renewal, which is another 11. This is judgment in the traditional tarot. This too can be bad or good, right? Judgment. Woo! What is that? Roaring thunder? Something else that came through my window. We usually only hear sirens. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. I think it's kind of funny that we heard that when I'm holding up this card. If you look in the background, it looks like a storm is brewing, right? Look how rough the waters are, how high the tide has gotten. But not where these people are standing. Where they are, it's calm and still. And not where Archangel Jeremiah is standing either. He's the Archangel of past lives, by the way. If you are having trouble remembering who you were, sometimes he can help you. Well, he can help you all the time, but sometimes we're able to connect to the point that he can help us, or we're mindful enough to call upon him. Maybe I should put it that way. Anyway, judgment represents the planet Pluto for me in the sign of Scorpio, which it rules. Can be about an actual judgment that we're making or is being made, even including a legal one. Can be about something that's due us. And it'll be positive, like abundance that's due us, that we earned. That is maybe life-changing, that finally some abundance came through for us. It towers us, right? Knocks us upside down. Could be love. Sometimes love knocks you down. Could be money. Could be a home. The tower can be associated with an actual structure. Sometimes an actual tower, building. New job. It can be about a relationship too. Again, maybe not unlike the one that's pictured here, where two people have come to a crossroad and they're deciding, where do we go from here? And maybe that can be life-changing. Maybe you break up. Remember, it's 50-50. It can go either way. And I said I felt that with the dice, that it was saying you could stay in bed, like work things out, things will be all right. Status quo. Today's just another day. Or take a walk. Judgment. Renewal. And another 2 or 11, it's the High Priestess or Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. The High Priestess, I told you she's a Gemini or a water sign. And she knows. So she could, very well make a judgment, upon something or someone, but likely won't. She tends to just know and keep things to herself and doesn't say anything unless it has to be said. She's not one of these people that goes around like dry snitching or running her mouth, talking just to be talking. She likes to hear herself. She'd rather observe and take in information than drop it, really. But she will. Don't think she won't. She's also super intuitive. High Priestess. And the Page of Fire. Outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and your ingenuity. Page of Fire is a Sagittarius. Or possibly a Leo, Aries, or Scorpio. Or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And again, it's an opportunity coming your way. So this could be attached to the Tower and to Judgment, right? Opportunity doesn't sound negative. If it's something negative, it's not an opportunity. It's like bullshit that's coming your way, right? So I think that Tower is a good one for those who encounter it. Or again, it could go either way. It's 50-50. Coming to the Three of Air, it had been in reverse. I think we should be mindful of that. But it is about great sadness and the need to take time to heal and to forgive yourself and others. Judgment, right? Like maybe not rushing to judgment, or maybe deciding not to be so judging and just say, you know what, I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to keep beating myself up. I'm not going to keep beating them up. I'm going to forgive. Overall energy is the Queen of Fire. Confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. The Queen of Fire is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, like that page. Maybe even a Scorpio. Also the representation of the divine feminine in the tarot. And can be connected to maybe the energy of the Aquarius moon, because this can be representative of Mars himself too, which is located in Aquarius. Could be Jupiter himself, ruler of Sagittarius, bringing us some sort of like karmic gifts, judgment. Yeah, Jupiter currently located in Scorpio, by the way, too. Pulls that back in. And a huge storm did indeed just come down here where I am. It is pouring all of a sudden. Oh, we got 2 there, feminine. Counting the masculine, the 8 of air. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Surrounding the masculine is Major Arcana card number 18, the Moon with Archangel Haniel. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So that tells us that this 8 of air is likely about fear too. I already felt that, but I hadn't gotten around to saying it. I don't have to now. It's like right in front of us. If the 8 of air is about feeling stuck or trapped, sometimes that's what we're trapped by is ourselves, our own, our own ego, our own pride, our own fear. And the moon sitting under this card sort of confirms that, because this too is about being afraid to move forward, even though we're guided to. The universe is basically saying when the moon shows up, there's stuff that you're not going to know. That, people are going to keep from you, whether maliciously or just by happenstance, and that, the universe is going to keep from you. But if you're guided to do something, you're still expected and guided to do it regardless, like fearlessly. And in the masculine subconscious, it is unity. with Archangel Sandalphon. Archangel Sandalphon is one of only 2 archangels that were said to be human first and then just ascended without dying. Talks about that quite a bit in the scriptures, but people tend to like only know the parts of the Bible or any of the scriptures really that their ministers teach them and not really catch the rest. A lot of the rest goes by. But Jesus talks about people who will not taste who will not taste death. Basically, they will just ascend. So Archangel Sandalphon was one. The other one was Archangel Metatron, who had formerly been Enoch. Anyway, traditional viewpoints and methods, spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So this can be fear of adding somebody to your circle, taking somebody away from your circle, entering some sort of commitment, signing important documents, going into some sort of important contract, signing up for school. All of those could be represented by the Hierophant. Crowning the feminine, it's the Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, and an invitation to a social event. The Knight of Water is a Pisces, perhaps, like the moon represents, or like Earth's moon rules, a Cancer, possibly, or a Scorpio. And it's somebody who's making a proposal, typically offering something that's going to make them and the person to whom they're proposing, feel good, bring joy. Feminine surrounded by, remember we got 2. Ooh, yuck. The 5 of Earth, fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. And the 7 of Fire, defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, but choose your battles wisely. So this 5 of Earth, it's about lack. It's not necessarily fear connected to money. It could be something emotional or, love related to fear of commitment, fear of entering a relationship because, like fear of abandonment, fear of just lack in general, like it's not going to be satisfying because your last relationship or some other relationship, your parents' relationship, that wasn't satisfying, and you've never seen a real loving relationship in your life, all that kind of stuff. The 7 of Fire is about sticking to whatever decision you make in this regard. Anyway, like this is about fear and fear of lack, to summarize it. And this is about sort of like the moon, but not as strong in energy, forging ahead anyway and sticking to your guns. Again, maybe as it relates to some sort of proposal that either you're making, if you've been afraid to make it but guided to make it, this is saying make it without worrying about, rejection or any other type of lack or fear. If you're presented with a proposal but you're afraid, again, because of something, some sort of ideology with which you were raised or some sort of experience you've had or belief that, system that you have, you're guided to make a decision absent that anyway, and then stick to it and like forge ahead. Feminine subconscious, life experience, or the Tower is back. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. That can be this revelation of, maybe all men or women aren't so bad. Maybe there is such a thing as real love. Maybe there is such a thing as true commitment. You may learn that through this proposal. Crowning. It is the High Priestess. Listen to your intuition. Consider carefully what you want before acting. That's really what this is about. And listen to your intuition. It's here crossing the moon too. Both of these cards that it's crossing, totally connected to the energy of the High Priestess and what she's about. Consider carefully what you want before acting. At the root. Wow. Major Arcana card, the World, with Archangel Michael. A job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude. The path toward enlightenment. The World is a fire energy for me, and of the fire element. And It is about, yeah, letting a situation, a circumstance, a relationship burn. Like you're finally done with it. You wanted to, or knew you should have, whatever, because it lacked something maybe, left it a long time ago. You should have, left your job, quit your job. Maybe now you're being laid off, or you get fired or something. And so that's how come you have to leave the job now. But, again, you should have, and you're being led to something that's far better for you anyway. That's what the world is about. It's those sort of things, like the universe stepping in to ease you out of a situation to bring you to a better one. But it's usually a situation, it's something that's like long overdue typically, and you should have been gone, but you're not, right? Whatever reason. I call it like overstaying our welcome. We overstayed our welcome somewhere. And now being eased out, once that happens, for me, it becomes like a waiting to exhale card. You can finally give that, like that's what a weight off my shoulders to be out of that situation. May involve some sort of party of 3. 21 equals 3. And at the heart of the matter, speaking of parties of 3, it is the 3 of fire. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. So since I said that this also holds like the element of fire for me, the energy of fire, they're both like 3s of fire. With this one again being stronger as major arcana, and this one is minor. This card really illustrates the need to get rid of like a third wheel for me. And we do have it here crossing the Hierophant, which can be about making adjustments to your circle, cutting people off, adding people, whatever. But this third person, a third wand, is not symmetric to the other two. And it just looks like it doesn't belong. So we may be doing that. Remember, it's 50-50. It could go either way. It's up to you. You got to make a decision if there's something or someone you are going to cut out of your life or allow the universe to take you out from. Because sometimes even when the universe steps in, sometimes we fight even this. And so it takes longer than it should have. But that's a decision that we have to live with and deal with the effects and consequences of when we buck the universe. Eventually this still happens. Everything appears at least to have fallen apart so that it can come back together in a way that is much more appropriate for us. Do we really need to clarify anything? No, but I can. All right, we'll look at the 3 of fire in the middle. What else can that be about? Going within to decide for yourself. Yeah, that's why I said, do we really need to? Because it's pretty evident, but it is confirmation for anybody who wanted additional confirmation. It is a Virgo. Maybe that is from whom you're walking away. For a while, we had seen parties of 3 that I said likely involved a Virgo, a Sag, and somebody else, So that can still be this situation. This can otherwise maybe not have anything to do with a Virgo, but it is the Hermit, and the Hermit holds the energy of Virgo, at least it's believed to in the tarot. The Hermit rather, can also be like a lawyer, a teacher. So again, it can be about school. It can be about divorce or, the end of one contract, whether it's love related or work related or something, in the beginning of a new one. But again, it involves decision. Something with a home or some other sort of structure. You're moving, you got to think about it, you got to go within. What do I want? Let me try to manifest that. I'd like to move, but something's lacking, it's not working. Every time I try, something goes wrong. What am I going to do? Let me go within and work on focusing on the right thing so I can manifest it. That can be too. Tower. 5 of air. Unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everybody's motives. This is like worry about that, actually, is what I'm feeling. Especially in this position, like the feminine subconscious, and being the suit of air or swords, and coupled with the tower, this is like mental anguish and like you driving yourself nuts, but you don't have to. Again, that's a choice too, just like it says in the card, unwise choice. So let's not do that. If we feel ourselves doing that, let's try to come back to High Priestess energy. And lastly, the World, I guess. It's another 3. They're doing that again. And this other 3, again, can have to do with a lot of things. It can be commitment. It can be a new relationship. It can be a renewed relationship. It can be pregnancy. It can be an addition to the family, an actual child. So it can be a bundle or abundance, or a bundle is abundance. It's gifts coming to you from the universe, best blessings. But this can certainly be money coming your way atop either of these. New job, new stuff. It's new stuff, new ideas, ways to become fruitful, fertile, and leaving a situation that was contrary to that was, not fruitful and fertile. I said that would be the last one, but might as well look at the 8 of air. The Emperor, masculine. Yeah, I guess to say if you're gonna go ahead and do it, we're gonna just reconfirm what you already know, what you guys have already been discussing. The Emperor is a leader. Now we have a couple at the table too, because we have both the Empress and the Emperor here. So for many, this is absolutely connected to romance, befitting of the Knight of Water. The Emperor can easily be a Knight of Water. He may be a Scorpio. The Emperor represents the planet Mars. Mars rules both Aries and Scorpio. This is a father figure, similar to the Empress being a mother figure, an authority. You could be coming in contact with some sort of authority, again, signing contracts. But otherwise, you're just guided to take the lead of your own life. Take your life by the reins, let go of the fear, and go handle your business. All right, so now I'll leave it there. I don't know, I'm just feeling something. Let's just see what this last one is. Like ultimately, overall for the day. Aren't you happy we did that? Queen of Earth, thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges, which looks like some may pop up, but they can be worked through. So how are they going to be worked through? By dealing with them in a kind and understanding manner. Boom. Further advice to the masculine. The wheel. The wheel. I'm sure it requires you, again, taking this step, though, and taking your life by the reins. If you're walking around scared, you're not going to manifest the energy of the Wheel of Fortune upright. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side when you make it so. Okay, that's what it's within your hands. It's within your hands. That's what the Emperor means, right? You taking your life by the reins. You're in control. And feminine, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there's no problem. The 2 of air is the need to make a decision, and often it's the energy of indecision and not doing anything at all, which in itself is a decision, similar to some of this other stuff. Right? Not taking action. Should you take action? Basically, it's the same answer. It's just like, make a decision. It's going to be a heart versus head decision. Some cases, it will be about love. And that love may involve a Gemini. The lovers represents the sign of Gemini in the tarot. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions, like a Gemini, like the High Priestess. Carefully review what you want before taking action. So what this is saying to me is, the indecision is okay until you're sure. Like, use that time when you're not taking action. Use that time of inaction to be clear and honest with yourself about what you want. Because it's your head, and remember I said mental anguish here. It's a struggle. It's an internal struggle that you're having because your heart and your head are not telling you to do the same things. My advice, go with the heart, but you don't have to listen to me. But when you decide which one you want, what it's saying is stick to your guns. Don't let anybody push you over. Put your foot down, and and be about it. Be about it. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the daily reading. I'll be back with something for the 21st, the last day of summer, the beginning of the fall equinox. Namaste, angels.